For this video, we are going to learn how to solve multi-step equations. By the end of the lesson and the homework, we want to be able to say this right here. We want to be able to say that I can solve multi-step equations by combining wow, that is, pretend that wasn't there. By combining like terms and using an inverse operation, okay? So there are some steps to this. Well, first off, let's talk about some vocabulary. First, we need to know what an equation is. An equation is a math sentence showing two things are equal. For example, x plus 3 equals 7. That's just a simple example of an equation. It always has to have an equal sign to be an equation. Next, we always have a variable. That's a letter that stands for a number, or it represents a number. So, for example, x. We will use all sorts of variables, all sorts of letters to represent numbers, but the one we're going to primarily use is the letter x. Next, we have a solution. The solution is the value of the variable that makes the equation true. Review for inverse operation. Remember, that is an operation that undoes another. So the inverse of add is subtract. The inverse of multiply is divide, and vice versa. And then in the end, what we're trying to do is we are trying to isolate the variable. We're trying to get the variable all by itself, all alone on one side of the equation. Because when it's on that side of the equation, if we have followed the steps correctly, we will know the solution to our equation. So let's take a look at some steps. The first thing you always want to do when there's a multi-step equation, almost with anything, you want to simplify both sides if possible. Which includes distributing if we need to. So if you need to combine like terms, make sure you combine like terms before you start to quote-unquote solve or do any inverse operations, okay? After that, after everything's been simplified, we then begin to isolate the variable like we have done previous in our two-step equations. And then always let's make sure we check our solution, that we have done it correctly. So let's look at a few examples of how to solve multi-step equations. So remember, the first thing we want to do is we always want to make sure we can simplify. So let's go ahead. Now remind myself, we need to simplify. So first we're going to take a look at the left side of my equation right here. And is there anything there that can be simplified? Is there anything that can be distributed? Are there any like terms that can be combined? Yeah, we have like terms. So we have this 3x, and we have this 2x. Those are like terms because they both end with x. So we're just going to add them together, just like it says in between them. 3x plus 2x is 5x. And then that 9 doesn't have any like terms, so we're just going to bring that down, and we end up with a 5x plus 9. Okay, let's look at the right side. The right side is 19. Does it have anything that can be simplified with it? Anything that can be combined? It cannot because it's by itself. So I just bring that down. And now I have a brand new equation. 5x plus 9 equals 19. And that just looks like a simple two-step equation. So let's go ahead and minus 9 from both sides first. 9 minus 9 is 0. So we end up with 5x equals 10. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals 2. Okay, let's make sure that is correct. So I'm going to plug it back in. You can plug it back into this one or this one if you're confident that you simplified correctly. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 9 is 19. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 9 is 19. So we did get the correct solution for this multi-step equation. Let's look at another example. Okay, 5x minus 5 minus 2x equals 22. Make sure to simplify. Okay, let's take a look at the left side of the equation first. I have a 5x and I have a minus 2x. Those are like terms, so we're going to put those together. What is 5x minus 2x? Well, that is 3x. Does the negative 5 have anything to combine with on the left side? It does not, so we're just going to keep that on the left side. And then, does the 22 on the right side have anything to combine with? It doesn't. So we're just going to go ahead and keep that there. And now we have a simple two-step equation. Let's go ahead and we're going to take care of that subtract 5 first. So we're going to add both sides, add 5 to both sides. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0, so it disappears. And I'm left with 3x equals 22 plus 5 is 27. Let's divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. It just kind of goes away, cancels out. So we have 1x equals 27 divided by 3, which is 9. Okay, let's go ahead and plug that back in. 5 times 9 is 45. Minus 5. 2 times 9 is 18. So 45 minus 5 is 40. 40 minus 18 is indeed 22. So we know our answer is x equals 9. Once again, we could have plugged it into this one as well if we were confident that we simplified correct. Because 3 times 9 is 27. 27 minus 5 is 22. So looks like we got the solution to that equation as well. This one looks slightly different. What do you think the first thing is that I need to do? It starts with a D. We have to distribute with this problem. Okay? Whenever we have a 2 outside or something outside of parentheses, the first thing we need to do is multiply that 2 inside of the parentheses into all the terms in the parentheses. So we're going to take this 2 and we're going to multiply it by 3x. 2 times 3x is 6x. Take that 2 and distribute it to the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Now the left side is simplified. Is the right side simplified? Yeah, it just has a 26, so it's already simplified. Now, once again, after I've simplified, I have a two-step equation. So we're going to get rid of the 2 by subtracting 2 on both sides. That turns into a 0, and we're left with 6x equals 24, because 26 minus 2 is 24. Now we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 6, and we get x equals 4 for my final answer. Let's double check. Let's plug a 4 in right there. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 1, that's 13. So out of all this parentheses, I get a 13. And 2 times 13 is 26. So we found the solution again. Awesome. Okay. This one looks like it has a couple things we have to do in order to simplify. Let's see. The first thing I do notice, though, is that distribution. We're going to go ahead and do that distribution. So we're going to take that 5 and times it to the x and get 5x. We're going to take this 5 and times it to the minus 2, or you can think of it as a negative 2. And I get a minus 10, or negative 10. Now, this minus 8 is going to come down as well. Have I simplified completely? I still have not simplified the left side completely because I have some like terms. I have this subtract 10 and this subtract 8. So I have to put those together first. So I end up with a 5x minus 18 equals, the right side is already simplified. It's just a 17. Now we're going to go ahead and solve our two-step equation. So we're going to add 18 to both sides. And we get 5x equals 17 plus 18 is 35. Okay, at that point, we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by a 5 because we want to isolate the x. We want it to be by itself. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we have 1x. Or we just write it as x equals 35 divided by 5 is 7. Okay, so let's double check. If I plug the 7 in right here, 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So from all that, I got a 25 minus 8 is 17. So I isolated the variable correctly and solved for my variable. Okay, hopefully after the lesson, if you need to go back and rewatch some examples, feel free to. Hopefully you're filling out your guided notes. And now that you should be able to say, I can solve a multi-step equation by combining like terms and using inverse operations. If you have any questions, please reach out.